Lester, thanks so much. Apparently, James Sartori is on the phone from London, and we understand he has an eyewitness with him. James, can you hear me?
Yeah, hi, Katie. Actually, there's a young American a guy here who I haven't had a chance to reach yet, who is describing his experience in the subway. I hope to get him shortly, talking about how some of the rescue attempts were being made, what he saw. Let me see if I can grab him. Excuse me, sir. Hi, we're with NBC News. We're with Today's Show. Would you mind talking quickly on live with Katie Kirk?
Sure.
Hold on. Katie, what's your name, sir?
My name's Sean Baran.
It's Sean Baran from
New Jersey.
From New Jersey. Hold on.
Sean, can you hear me?
Hope you can hear this.
Sean?
Hello, Ms. Kirk?
Yeah, hi, Sean. Can you tell us where you were and what happened?
I was trying to get on the tube station in Kilburn Park, and they told me the tube station was closed, so I hopped on a bus, and as I was approaching the Edgware station, I saw people coming out of the train station, and they had obviously had smoke inhalation. I mean, you could see the burns on their faces, lacerations, hot broken glass, splatter burns. If you've ever seen those before, it looks like little black dots from small burns of hot pieces of glass. And pretty much as the police and paramedics and firefighters started showing up, they organized a command post in the Marks and Spencer's food market and the Hilton, and we began triaging patients. I was helping out the person who was in charge. She did a very good job. She was the doctor in charge there, and we began triaging patients, separating the patients who were badly injured from the ones who were walking wounded, and what we did is we got all their contact information, listed their injuries on a piece of paper, and then transported the people who were in most need of medical attention first, and then in priority after that for people who were less injured.
And real quickly, Sean, the most serious injuries, what did they involve?
The more serious injuries were major lacerations, most of them to the face. The places where people had been covered by clothing was relatively well protected, but for the people who had been exposed very closely to the blast, they had some major lacerations to the face. I didn't see any eye injuries.
Sean, we're going to check back with you. If you could just stand by, we'll be back with much more right after this. Let's go back to Sean Baran, who is 20 years old. He's from New Jersey. He is visiting London and witnessed what transpired there this morning. Sean, good morning again.
Hi, Katie.
You were mentioning that you helped triage several victims in the Marks and Spencer food court, as well as some hotels that have been opening up to help some of the injured. You were telling me about the extent of the most seriously injured. Can you elaborate on that for a moment?
On the serious injuries?
Yes.
Most of the people who were injured seriously were most likely treated in the tube station and transported directly to the hospital. The more serious injuries that we had, the people who were taken actually to the Hilton had some relatively bad burns on their face, legs, and arms. They had bad smoke inhalation, so they're having difficulty breathing, and that can get a little bit sticky later down the line. And then there was one or two people who obviously needed some stitches for major lacerations on the face and hands and arms.
Do you have a medical background, Sean?
Yes, I'm actually an EMT from Westfield, New Jersey.
Oh my gosh, well, it's fortunate that you were there to help so many of those people. Are you just visiting London, or are you there on business?
I'm sorry?
Why are you visiting London?
I'm interning actually for the summer. I've been here for about 2 months. I'm interning with a company called British American Business Incorporated.
Mm-hmm. And you were on a bus, I understand, when you saw people file out for... Okay, excuse me, Sean, we've got a special report.
Okay.
We've been talking this morning to eyewitness Sean Baran. He's a 20-year-old from New Jersey who is in London. He's working as an intern there over the summer. He is also a volunteer EMT and rushed to the scene to help some of those who had been injured in the blast. Sean, good morning again.
Hi, Katie.
So tell us a little bit more about where you were when you saw this unfold. I understand you were riding a bus?
Yeah, I was on one of the double-decker buses looking out the front window, and I kind of saw a little bit of a bird's eye view of the people coming out of the station. So I hopped off the bus and went over to help out.
Was it pure chaos, Sean, as people were pouring out, or did they come sort of slowly?
People were walking relatively slowly when they were coming out. I think some of them were still pretty shocked. However, I wouldn't describe it as chaos. The emergency services here were very well organized. They set up a command post in the Hilton where we quickly began to treat the patients and triage people, get their contact information and names, and then send them to the appropriate hospitals as quickly as possible.
Sean, it's Lester Holt. Was it clear to you and to the people pouring out of that station that this had been an attack, or was there plenty of confusion at that point?
No, they actually figured it out pretty quickly because we started hearing reports from different people who were getting calls from around the city saying that there was an explosion in one tube station and then another and then another, and everyone put the pieces together very quickly.
Did people describe other passengers who might have either been killed or trapped or otherwise incapacitated on the trains below?
Yes. In the one train at Edgware Road, one of the patients who I was dealing with inside the hotel described a large hole which had been blown in the floor, and I believe in the process one gentleman was either thrown out of the train or fell through the hole, but he was pinned underneath one of the trains. I believe he might have been run over, and he was not in the Hilton, though. I would imagine that they either transported him directly from the tube station to the hospital.
Sean, are people still trapped underground at this point in time, as far as you know, or have most of them been rescued?
As far as I know, the vast majority of them have been rescued. We actually finished triaging patients in the Hilton, and over in Edgware Road, I haven't seen any ambulances coming in or out. It looks like they're all gone. But for the most part, they told the volunteers, "Thank you very much," and they're kind of sending us along.
Well, Sean,
it was a very quick, organized process.
Well, that's good to hear. Meanwhile, Sean, we heard from your mom from Westfield, New Jersey, who was very relieved to hear your voice on our program earlier this morning on Today. So call your mother, Sean, when you get a chance.
I called him at 4 in the morning. I called my dad. I'm not sure if my mom heard, but I called my dad to make sure.
All right, well, take care.
All right, thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks so much for your insight.